Well, Biz, maybe you're doing all this dishing because of the shirt you have on. Trevor Zegras with the assist heard round the world this week. Absolute. He did I guess you'd call it the Michigan scoop. Alley-ooped it to his roommate, Sonny Milano, who batted it in. Buffalo's just standing around watching him. He even shocked himself. I mean, this is unreal highlight. Nobody's ever seen it before. This kid is like, they got to make him the poster boy. I know he had him on and he's our buddy, but they got to make him the poster boy of the league, boy. He's just, the interview with Buchagras after, he's total Spicoli, this kid.
Wait, can we agree that he probably could have just stepped to the side and made a direct tape-to-tape pass on the ice?
The defense, once I ended up seeing the defender just standing there holding his stick in the air, he could have actually slid it on the ice 2 feet.
He had his stick protected. He had his stick protected, and then he moved it to protect
it to behind him.
Behind him, so he could have walked right out. But the fact that Sonny yells, "Do the Michigan," and then he's like, "No, I'll just flick it over the net," and then you could see the look on both their faces. They're like, "What the fuck was that?" And I don't know. I'll send it over to you, Wet. Like, what do you think of the whole situation?
I thought it was one of the most original, best assists I've ever seen, and just the whole way that it happened so quick that you're like, did that just happen? Like I actually saw it right away. I was like, what the? Like, you have to see the replay immediately.
Too fast.
And Zegras' reaction was the best part. Just the look of shock, and him saying to Buchagras or Ryan Callahan, whichever guy he was talking to. I think he talked to both of them. He's like, yeah, that's like the best play I've ever made in a game. Like that is so ridiculous that it actually worked. Now, couple things have obviously is it arisen a word?
I have no clue.
Absolutely.
Gladiatorism is.
Woo! I think that the craziest thing, okay, well, one is that there's 50 million views within 24 hours online, which is nuts. Truly viral from an NHL game, which doesn't happen very often. Second, not to be Debbie Downer, I'm seeing a high stick on that play.
Yeah, same.
I know it was called a goal on the ice. I'm glad it was called a goal. Sorry, Buffalo fans. It doesn't really make a difference in the end. I'm glad it was called a goal. But if that's called no goal on the ice, no way that stands. Because to me, his stick is above the crossbar and he's hitting down on it. So I know I may sound like a complete Debbie Downer, but they never did find the Anthrax guy. It was a high stick. The pass itself, though, to have the touch, not only I've never been able to put the puck on my stick that way, Biz. The only time I could is right before the ice was chewed up as the Zamboni got off, and I'd have to have what's the Gordie Howe tape called? Friction tape.
Yeah. Wax.
So I can, the fat guys can do it while moving, let alone the way he was standing still, but I couldn't do that. So that part blows me away. But a lot of guys in the show can now put the puck on their stick that way. But then the deft touch to not have it flick off like a brutal meat sauce pass, or to not have it fall maybe on the top of the netting.
My regular tape-to-tape.
Yeah, exactly. That it was just perfection, and it was so original and creative, and happened so quick that I thought it was one of the coolest plays I've seen in recent memory in the NHL, no doubt.
We asked them what they wanted to call it, and they kind of said the alley-oop, and I'm like, they got to think of something original. And then I said the shocker because of the looks on their faces, but I don't know if that's going to be able to fly because I feel like there's already representation of that. What do you think, G?
The kids in the street are calling it the Zegras.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's a quick answer. I'm okay with that. I mean, is there no video of anyone ever doing that in the professional leagues?
I've never seen that. No, I have seen it attempted. Didn't somebody show a clip of Datsuk did it, I believe. But I don't think Datsuk was necessarily passing it directly to someone. He was trying to just throw it so soft where it might end up going in somehow or hitting a stick skate or maybe even the goalie's back. But I don't think he was dishing it to anyone when he did it.
There was one angle to the goalie's left, actually, because a lot of people thought it was a high stick, but there's a lower angle to the left. It doesn't look like a high stick at all. It's just because the angle, it's from behind, so it looked like a high stick. But if you see this other one, I didn't think it was a high stick at all.
Well, only the NHL could have fucked this one up and called it a high stick. Like if they had actually come back and had no goal, they waved that off, it would have been just ridiculous. But in the end,
that would have been worse for the league than the umpire blowing that perfect game. That would have been more devastating for hockey. Look at the amount of views it's garnished in dialogue, and we haven't even got into the fucking Torts comment yet.
I don't know, that dude, that was that ump was crying. The guy, like, he wasn't even in the majors a few years later. Like, that ruined perfect game was horrific.
Who the player wasn't in the majors anymore?
I don't even think that pitcher ended up like being like a major league pitcher for that long after. Do you remember his name, R.A.?
No, I don't off the top.
Annabelle Sanchez.
Oh,
Annabelle Sanchez?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
But it was great, too, to see all the videos, all the like little kids trying it. Like, they look like mites or squirts, and then the Wisconsin team was trying it, too. Just the ripple effect. That was real cool. Like, within a day, they had all these videos online. It was pretty good shit. But, Biz, you just mentioned Torts. I mean, we want to play those comments? Gee, should we? Okay, for the people who might not have heard them at home, go ahead.
First thing I thought of when I saw that goal, Mr. John Tortorella, was, what does Coach Torts think of this goal? I really want to hear your opinion here.
Yeah, and it's tremendously skilled. For Sonny Milano, even to yell Michigan in the middle of a play in a game is skill. That's a skilled play. My position, though, is it good for the game? Like, I hear Ray saying all the kids are doing it now, okay, in practice and stuff like that. I'm not so sure. And again, I'm not trying to be a fool here, but I'm just not so sure it's great for the game. If you did that back in the 2000, late 90s, 2000, you get your head taken off. It's cool, it's cool to watch and all that, but I'm not so sure it's good for the game. And I stand by that.
50 million views is a lot to see it online.
Well, it's not even. It's the goal is amazing, right? I mean, you said the fact that they've actually said that. Like, I have kids in that coach in high school that they want me to drop plays off the faceoff so they can try to score a goal like that, to score the Michigan goal. But for him to be a rookie, to actually try that in a game as a rookie, you would never even thought about doing something like that.
What would you have said if they were on your team and they did that?
Yeah, I'd have a talk with the people. I would after the game. And again, I'm not trying to be difficult about it. It's fun to watch. It's really cool, but I just think I think our game has gone so far away from what the game should be. A hard game, an honest game, and it's almost gotten too showman. I know you need to have it. You need to sell the game, but I'm just, I'm from the ilk of it's still a hard game to play, and a good, honest hockey game needs to be played. I think some of this stuff here, we get carried away.
But that's good for the game, though. The fact that it's been viewed that many times?
Yeah.
The fan that we're trying to attract
yes.
is the casual fan.
But I think you're losing fans, too. I think you're losing other fans also when you're attracting others towards this stuff.
I mean, look, we're Torts guys here, but that's such an awful take. Like, how is that bad for fucking the NHL in any way, dude? You just said 50 million views it got. You got Black Panther Michael B. Jordan tweeting about it or talking about it on Instagram. Like, in what way is that negative in any way whatsoever, Biz?
I mean, I bet you. Remember when Hurdle? I think it was Talkett who brought this up. He goes, "Remember when Hurdle scored the 4 goals in the game, and the 4th goal is when he went between the legs and roofed it?"
Yeah. And Thornton said he would have whipped his cock out if he did that.
Yes, Whit, he did say that. Thanks for bringing that up. He said he would go helicopter cock. Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I like how you brought that up. Just trying to get Joe Thornton's cock out of my head so I can make my next point. So he went between the legs, and you see more and more guys doing that where it's become the norm. And I'm sure there were things that fucking Gretzky did that nobody had ever done before. Did they look as flashy? Maybe no. But this is, we talk about the attention it's garnered for the league. We talk about these young kids now seeing it and being inspired by it. So now more kids want to become hockey players. And he's a fucking Zegras is so young in the league, and he's already a hero to these kids. So talk about a kid early in his career making more of a social impact on the game. Because you think about, did he copy Jack Hughes with the stick toss? Who cares? They're fucking buddies, man. Like, you think any of these fucking older guys, like Getzlaf would never chuck his fucking stick in the crowd. He was probably shaking his head and laughing, right? And then you saw the between the legs move that people were like, he didn't even need to do that. He would have had a better take. Fuck you. Look at the other angle. He fucking Doughty bit on it. It was a great little silky move. And then everybody was talking about that. And now this. What's next? I think that if he fucking pulls off the Michigan goal in the next little while here, I bet you he fucking has #1 jersey sales in the NHL this year. or in the next 12-month span.
I think
for a kid that was playing in the American League last year, and you weren't really sure what was going to happen. Talk about making a social impact as a player. And going back to your point, RA, but hey, you kind of goes back to the McDavid comment that we actually had Jim Playfair on. He goes, dude, McDavid, there's nobody who's improved their defensive and 200-foot game more than this guy. And I watch tape on him every day, all day. And, so he's probably saying it just to garner more attention to the sport, much like probably this Whit. No? Like, do you think he just goes old man take because he's like, let's get the shit popping here. Let's get let's get more people talking about this, and or do you think that's his genuine take?
Oh, that is his 100% genuine
You think he would have pulled him in if that was his player who did that? He said that, right?
Possibly, yeah. The thing that I
then
disagree,
he's a fucking clown.
The thing I disagree so much with that take by Tortorella is I'm on board with a lot of people thinking that the way the game is played now sometimes is it's a little underwhelming in terms of physicality, anger, true beefs on the ice, right? You saw Toronto and Winnipeg have that game last week that was unreal. They hated, there was hatred, and it was fun, and that's what makes a lot of regular season games a little boring at times now that we don't have that as much in our game. And that's definitely what Tortorella is kind of talking about. The whole sense of the thing is that the game isn't what it used to be. And when you bring in these new high-skill plays, people look at it as he looks at it as a little bit of a circus as opposed to tough, hard-nosed hockey. Now, my whole thing is, in the playoffs, you still get that hockey, dude. And by the way, this week, we had 2 Trouba knockout hits on McKinnon and, is it Kara for Chicago, who was scary enough. He stretched it off. There's still old-school hockey out there. So to have this actually make you that upset is so crazy to me, because what he's saying to me is that instead of standing behind the net and doing that move, he would have rather had him do a 1999 old school wraparound, goalie covers it up, slashes pads, D comes in, punches him in the face, skirmish. That's what Torts would have rather wanted. That's what he probably would have chose if he could have that move and that viral clip and that skill.
Bank.
He would have rather just had like the Bissonette wraparound, whack his pad once, scrum.
That's in Torts' spank bank. He's just got the scrum clips. He's fucking
he just wants wraparound scrum. That's like number one on the board before the game. It's like get pucks in deep, shots on net, wraparound scrum.
Give him that stinky glove. Yeah.